Hello and happy Tuesday. I forgot which day it was. Hope you all are doing well today. And also, hi, Fex. Thanks for stopping by. I'm sad to hear that you had to go to meetings. Meeting sucks. And hi, Starless. How are you doing, darling? I just woke up. I accidentally took a nap after my dinner. So, yeah. Yes, pet omen, pet omen. So I just woke up, so my brain might need a little bit of a rebooting or something. I don't know. But I have some very, very nice news that I found out. Like, I was trying a new format for recording yesterday. Like, especially like the audio format, because I think I mentioned it last time, but basically, like, the videos I was recording after I switched to Linux, they basically took up like twice the size than what they used to when I recorded on Windows. And well, that would fill up my storage space quite quickly. So I decided to like try a different format, and good news, we're back to, I think, pretty much normal sizes now. So hell yeah. It turns out that like using 4 audio channels of uncompressed format is taking up a lot of storage. Who would have thunk that? But yes, we are going to play some. This is a bonus stream. Normally I don't stream on Tuesdays. Who knows? Maybe we'll change that if I do start the visiting classes, because they will be on Mondays in the evening. So it might be very hard for me to actually do it on Mondays, like stream on Mondays. So who knows? Maybe we'll switch to Tuesdays. I don't know. We're just still playing it by ear. We do not have a schedule. I can do whatever I want. Aha! But yeah. But I just kind of been thinking about blueprints ever since we streamed it yesterday. I also compiled a lot of notes. I think I came to some new discoveries. Like I mulled over the like look through my mods what? Look through my VODs and mulled over the exam we did as well. And I think I got a lot of answers out of that. Like mostly which one was correct and which ones were not correct. Does that mean I can nail the exam the next time? Not necessarily, because the things I did not know, I still don't know. So I mean, there's maybe one or two that was like, I'm not sure it is this or this, and then turns out I chose the wrong thing. So probably means I will get that one right the next time. But yeah. But no, I've been wanting to use the Obsidian. I guess it's a note-taking app for quite a while. I just never really knew what to do with it, but turns out this game is amazing for it. But I also don't feel like I'm utilizing it to its full capacity though, so I don't know. But I'm trying to use it. I don't really have any lengthy speech prepared for today. As I said, I just woke up, I can't speak proper, so do bear with me if I slur my speech a bit. Let me just boot up the game. Yes, I just want to play. I just want to play. So that's what we'll be doing. I don't know how long we'll be going for. As I said, we're just playing things by ear, because I just want to. We have some things we discovered last time that I would hope we can explore a bit further this time, so we'll see. We'll see. Also, yeah, I mean, spoiler warning for something underground. Okay, good, we're still on day 50. Good, it did not overwrite that. But one thing we did find was a ruin of something that might potentially contain a throne room. We'll see. So that's exciting, because we need to get that. Let me just switch over to the game. I need to set up a hotkey for this. Scoot over a bit. That should be good. And let me kill the music and pop the game music on. As I said, I really should set up a hotkey for that. I've been talking about doing that for like months now, so my bad. Right. We are on day 50. Full disclosure, we have uncovered quite a lot of mysteries to behold in this manner. If you do not want spoilers, then that's perfectly fine. And I urge you to not necessarily watch or listen if you do not want spoilers for this game, because this is a puzzle game. And knowledge is power, and you can't unlearn the things you eventually might learn if you watch this stream. So, if you're still here and don't really care about spoilers, or you already know everything, perfect. Now let's see, we are on day 50. We did the exam the previous day. Ooh, a compass, a sleeping mask, and some gems. Cool. Wait, who's Kay Thompson? Oh, right, he's one of the researchers. I actually came to a realization as well about something. We're looking for, like, names of the staff. And I just realized, like, as I was mulling through my notes, that the books in the library have a list of people who borrowed them. And maybe we could leave some names from that. Alright, please, give me the thing. No! It's fine, we actually need to get to shelter though, because there's something else I realized. Because we did, first of all, we get a gem. But we also opened up something here. We went to the admin controls and opened the emails, so maybe there's something to glean from this. Yes, and don't worry, this communication method is fully secure. I'm the only lab technician with network access and the only one who uses this terminal. I'm working to get you some more supplies, but I'm not focusing on essentials, as I believe there's enough food in the shelter to last for the duration. Though I think it'd be wise if you can do a quick inventory to confirm that. It does go in this order, right? Yeah. In terms of area, there's not nearly as much room here as I remember from my youth. If it was just me, I wouldn't mind, but with 4 of us and the space we're going to need for planning, I don't expect this to be a sustainable situation for more than a few weeks. A fortnight at best. But who's receiving these mails? I passed the message on to your uncle. Sorry, I passed the message on, and your uncle says he may have an idea for a more long-term solution, but it's going to require some doing. I'm not sure exactly what he has in mind, but this morning when I looked at today's blueprints, I saw he drafted the pump room, a floor plan I haven't seen used in a very, very long time. I have a feeling you all may be taking a boat ride shortly. Ah, okay, we already figured all this out. Oh, it's finally happening. We just got confirmation from our source that the Red Guard is coming tomorrow to begin the formal inquiry into the disappearance. At this point, it's going to be too risky to move you until the next week at the earliest. Just hang tight for now. Okay. I think there's something else we can do here. Remote terminal access. You know, I just do this for the hell of it. If we do this, we might not necessarily need to draft the, what's it called, the security room. Keycard system. This. Low. Unlocked. There we go. Ah, hacking. We just need to find the breaker box now. Alright. That was one of the things I wanted to see in the shelter. And I don't recall that we have used Moore as an admin, but I think we have. I think Moore is one of the lab technicians. I think that's what he actually said in one of the emails as well. So, well, we'll see. Maybe it's a special admin privilege. I don't know. So that would be... Welcome to Blackbridge. Use the database. Ah, yeah, we do already know this. It bothers me we can't collect the... Oh, they're delisted. I see. We already got everything we need from this then, because we already read everything. Let's just look through them again. Just skimming. Looking for names very specifically. They're talking about the Black Bridge, which was named after... Or it was named after Black Bridge. And we found a book called The Curse of Blackbridge, which we should have waited for us in the library. So yeah. Camera files deleted. As requested yesterday, new admin key created. So the requested name doesn't quite fit with our typical length formatting. Right, so we basically need a name from somewhere. Let me just note down the date here, actually. We need to find a name from somewhere that's less than, like a last name that is less than 4 letters, I would presume. Okay. They lock the things down. But we need someone with archive access. We have tried Tom K. I think Tom K has the exact same things as Moore. And Road H was deactivated, so can't use that. And then on the first, update database. Okay. But we still need to find some names. Probably should look at the data files actually. And we should have the same files because whether we use Moore or Tom. Oh, right, we could do like trophy data. Include save data and stuff like that. We don't want to do that. No. The network settings we already played around with. Alright. So what is our plan for this day? I think the plan is to see if we can get a furnace close to... Yeah, furnace and a, what's it called? A freezer. Yeah, see, we did not do that well. There's some of these things that I know I made a mistake, like what I knew what the exact mistake was, and so I have absolutely no idea. See, so that's Trinsdale. Ace and Ace. Okay. I mean, a dark room could be kind of fun to begin with. Alright, it's sheltered. I've completely forgot about that. Well, we can get a furnace. That might potentially be a waste of a shelter, but at the same time, that means we're not more likely to get more battery. We're not more likely to get more red rooms though, so maybe it's fine actually. I don't want to use it on the funeral parlor though. That does not sound good. Alright, let's see what we get this way. Let's just do storeroom. Get some materials. Or not materials, items. I wonder, what is that house? We can go up from the dens. I think we just do the nook here to take a turn. But yeah, we definitely need the library. I mean, I kind of want to use City Glossy, but at the same time, not here. Let's see if we can get her ladyship's chambers. We do not. Could build a conservatory though and see if we can like change some things up. Okay, we can make the lavatory like very, very rare so we don't get that ever. Because I don't think there's any like reason to have this in our draft. I don't think there's anything ever in the lavatory, so do that. Laundry room. Just make that unusual. I don't know. And let's see if we can make... Oh, that is already commonplace. Okay. Well, that is fine then. I really wish we could like interact with more items in the world. Like even just something like interact with the cello there, and then it would say pling plong or something like that. I don't think we necessarily care too much about the pump room. Let's just do the corridor. We could do the garage, I guess. We can still build up from the hallway. Let's just do that and get some keys. That's not keys. Stuff. I feel like we saw in a book, we saw something about Christoph Clark, which seemed very suspicious to me. I'm actually not too opposed to this. To get some rerolls. Do nursery. Wait, hang on. We're also looking for like books that are anagrams of something. We're looking for a red book, I think. Yeah, a red book that can be anagrammed into Tender Cipher. Could it be this one? Tendercipher. Well, it's this book. Cool. This kind of gives it that. So let's see, that's the Red Prince. And unfortunately, I don't really know which word we're supposed to look at because I couldn't read my own handwriting. It's becoming an issue, I think. Let's see if I can, like, decipher my own writing. Okay, yeah, it's X. So page A, word X. Which is, if I consult my notes, page 10, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then word 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Prince, by the looks of it. So what if we do it like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Could also be an option, I guess. If so, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In that case, it becomes 2. That doesn't sound hopeful. Because that's also presumably what we got from the blue book. Apparently I don't know how to count. Also, do we count this page? Like, how exactly do we count it? Do we do page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, page 5, page 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? If so, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In that case, it becomes 10. How did I get Prince before then? So if we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so that doesn't work that way. So I'm just confused about how we're supposed to count this. We're getting a off by 1 error, essentially. So if we do... But I mean, if we count this page, like I said, start at 1 on the title page, so that would be this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I mean, that seems to be the most correct. Let me just mark that in my notes. I've now made some markings about what could potentially be more correct and less correct. Look, I'd much rather have options I can decipher from. So... Okay, well that's good. I kind of didn't expect that. It hadn't even crossed my mind that it might be that book. Oh, bobbins. So I'm quite happy we just kind of like stumbled upon that. Are there any of these that make any sense to look at? I think we already got everything we need from the dark room. I think this note says something about green notes are true or something, or false, depending on something else. But I think that's a red note as well, given that it's in the red light. well, we got the utility closet here. Turn that off. Garage on. Alright, let's make sure we can actually continue onwards from here. The pool. I don't really need any of the rooms we can get from the pool, but might as well. Let's do funeral parlor just to kind of like get a another option of moving forwards. And then we could put the observatory here, so we can just continue onwards here, I guess. Wait, hang on. This is another one of the books. So if we were to count this in the same way, just find my notes again, it would be page 3. Word. So page 13. Word. Wait, no. Hang on, I've made a mistake in my note taking. I do see what the mistake is though. It will be page 3, word 8. So 1, 2, 3 in that case maybe. Is it word what 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that becomes A. Well, that doesn't sound very helpful. In fact, A seems incredibly vague. The alternative we do 1, 2, 3. Wait, and that is my note right then? Set to X is what I have written down, so it must be this, yeah. Because the last time we got 2 from the twins here, but we did like 1, or we did 1, 2, 3, but that doesn't make any sense. So it must be A in that case. Because if we do 1, 2, 3, well, there's not even 8 words here, so it must be A in that case. Okay. Don't know what that means, but we need to turn up again. I don't even want another observatory though. Let's do the den, I think, and get a gem. I also really wonder what the star is used for. Dead ends are more likely today. Oh dear. That's actually not bad. This might seem bad, but it's actually not bad since we're trying to fish for a freezer. Let me just try to redraw them. Not devolved. Please just give me the damn freezer. Oh, finally! Alright. They are fairly close to each other. Although the temperature doesn't necessarily appear to be rising. Oh, I wonder if the shelter like ruined the furnace then. That would be very sad if that's the case. No, the temperature is rising. Right, good. We finally got this. All we needed was a curse by the god of death. That's all we needed. Because it's very obvious that there is kind of like a pathway here. There's also a letter here that we need to read. There also appears to be quite a lot of nice goodies in here as well. It's also frozen porn. Nope. Things are melting. Okay, but I'm very happy we finally got this, because I've been wanting to get this forever. This still doesn't mean that the freezer will not work today though, but that's fine. We're not really used to it working anyway, so... Because I don't think we can send the furnace off. So yeah. I do wonder if, like, there was a couple of days ago where we also managed to build the freezer like this. Where we had, like, the freezer here and the furnace here. I wonder if it was still working on us, maybe just not patient enough, maybe? That could very well have been the case. Now, what do we have in here? Oh, an upgrade disc. But this admin key doesn't work, though. The network servers are finally out of cold storage, or at least as many as we could fit into the surrounding walls of the Grotto of the East Drive. The last few days have been very busy, but I'm glad I was able to take a short break from gardening to help Randolph install the network. It was, after all, the least he could do, since it was I who suggested the final location. We decided that we're going to store the two unused servers here in Mount Holly's freezer. They should serve as a readily accessible replacement should any of the primary consoles fail. I mean, I guess. But yeah, we already tried this out in the key and it was revoked, but I mean, might as well try it again if there's a terminal in here. I don't see a terminal. That's so mean though that they like put this up. It's like, oh hey, here's the admin key, then it's just not working. I think they did that with another admin key as well. Is it not hot enough in here for last things to melt? Hang on, let me just go back to the furnace and get rid of my frozen state. Counts have been forward. Good. Maybe we just needed to do that forward to open. It's still frozen. Well, at least we can get the gems. Oh wait, hang on, is that a... That looks like a special key. And of course there's a letter there. Why did the temperature stop rising? Oh. That makes me sad. Anyway. But you saw it says that. I love how I made the lottery even more rare and then we still get it. In fairness though, we are more likely to get dead ends, so it makes sense, but still. We have the lockpicking kit, right? We do not. Okay. Let me do some backtracking. I am very aware of my step count being fairly low because we've been doing a lot of back and forth right now, though. I mean, the furnace is not that far away from the freezer, right? Where did I want to go? I want to head into this. Right, so that's this way. So now I turn this off. We can do the attic and get some items. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7. And the last item here. Well, we might need the lever if you want to open something. Thomas Yantis. I don't think... I mean, this is from a publishing company, so I don't suppose that's relevant. April 12th, though. I don't suppose that's going to be a important date to remember, though. Sorry, just noticed a vase might be able to break. Oh, hang on, there's a note here. Ah, well, I already figured this out. Interesting that you can, like, squish yourself through that. I mean, to get a sledgehammer is what I'm learning. And a spade, probably, as well. Alright. Let me just head back. There's also a vase here. No, we can't go smashing all the vases in the manor. Can't do that. Wait, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We might actually have messed up and spent too many steps going back and forth. It's fine. We got something. Well, actually, we didn't quite get what we wanted. It's not fine then. In any case, I really do need to plug in this upgrade disk and then we'll deal with the consequences of that. Wait, we can upgrade the spare green room again? Ooh. So a spare room under which increases your chance of finding items in green rooms? Or we can split gems, or even better, we have another chance to make green rooms completely free. Yeah, that sounds good. Like, we could get the terrace normally to just get this effect as well, but... First of all, it's a dead end. Second, I don't feel like I get it that often, so... Increasing our chances is always a good thing. Now, however, I think I have messed up a bit and been very careless with my steps, so it might just be over. We'll see. If we're fortunate, we find fruit or some other food somewhere. Nope, it's over. Okay, that was awkward. My bad. Should have gone to the freezer. Oh well. Well, we got something, I guess. So actually, we didn't really figure anything out. So, whoopsies. I'm so used to not having to be conservative with my steps, so I was like, nah, this is fine. Well, we did at least get like an upgrade for the spare room. That makes it actually rather powerful. So that's nice. That is very nice. I would still like to get the furnace and the freezer again though. Let's start by going out here and see what room we get. Hang on, I need to check something. It doesn't say anything about where we get it. But like based on the premise, it looks like an outside room. I don't know. I guess we do too. But we're not gonna go down there just yet. Alright, let's see. Pantry. And then we can just dead end this room, I guess. It's actually pretty good. I still don't know if like flipping the dark room off and on again does anything. Just kind of like a habit to do it. Okay, this one should continue. Oh, that's lovely. I'm not gonna go that way yet though, because I'm gonna push a bit ahead. Drama might be pretty good. I think. I mean, we get a free gem. Also, I've noticed I have like a tendency to steer towards the east wing. In theory, I should be heading towards the west wing, because I think that's more likely to be unlocked. Guess we can do a dinner here. And then we go to the pantry. Okay, this gives 3 steps, right? It does. Okay, so that was correct in the exam. I'm actually fine with doing a nursery here, and then we can like build out something down here, I think. Ooh, a free key. Always lovely. Yeah, I'm gonna try to push ahead for the what's it called? For the antechamber. Some gems, the cross, apples are more delicious, a key, and chests. They sound to be very like rewarding to do the observatory. That would be terrible. Although it does give us a chance to get some good rooms, so I mean we can still build out from here. I don't know. Rotunda might be a good alternative, actually. It's just so expensive. Oh well. We do have plenty of gems. Well, not anymore, but... Oh, that's not ideal. We get the commissary, see if we can get a sledgehammer. We cannot, but a shovel is good as well. Right, so we have a small issue that these two are now blocked off, but that's okay. I guess we can do the garage? That would save us some steps actually, because we kind of probably have to head through the rotunda and then... Yeah. Or we could do the guy's bedroom and get a shortcut actually, or like get some rerolls. Rerolls might be nice. We also get some steps. Let's do the garage, we need keys. I would be very sad if they run in it because I ran out of keys already. That will make me incredibly sad. Let's just get the magnifying glass and a set of gems. It's just doing it like this, but it seems to just be some normal decoration. It's both golden, right? Yeah, okay. Oh hey, we can rotate these rooms that are always like point in the same direction. I don't want the archive. Let's do that. I think we should be able to dead end this room if need be. Or we could hallway it. If so, I think... we might want to rotate the hallway like this. Alright. Oh, we haven't turned the power off. Oh. Well, we got a security room, so that's resolved. So if you change the offline mode to unlocked, and we set this to high, so we can save some keys. There we go. I kind of want the vault, but I also don't want to spend all of my gems. We can get more gems at the commissary though. Although the Great Hall would allow us to open one of the doors. Let's do the vault. No, we passed Christmas. The rip. Alright, didn't I save gems in one of these? I did, but that doesn't mean it respawns. Okay. Well, it was worth it for science. There's also a vase here we can probably destroy. Don't mind me destroying my own property. Ooh, what's with all these red rooms? The gym is fine, we turned that off. I really do not want the archives though. But there's something in there I actually do want to take a look at. Fine. Will this be detrimental to the rest of the run? Definitely. Let's see, what's the names? We have Marion Marigold. Philip White. I need to write these names down. Caleb Manning. And searching group RLCF. I don't know if that's relevant, but it is highlighted, so... I don't suppose they're hiding anything in this picture. No, they just look sketchy. And then of course Mary... missing? Hundred Bells Tea Room. I think we found another note stating something about that. And then there's some notes about the heist itself, but the crown was stolen. Okay, that didn't give me a whole lot, I think. I did also just kind of skim it, but that's besides the point. Oh, archive, I hate you. I already know about this. Sure, we have so many keys. We kind of have to take this room. I mean, we can get in for the foundation, so it's not... Frick. It's not gonna be too bad if it does take us back, but... it will not be ideal either. Let's see, experiment setup. When you draft the red room, use steps and then do something else. Spread dirt in the driveway. I think each time we open a security door, there should be plenty of those around. I don't know what would be good though. I mean, I guess we can increase our allowance even further, just because why not? We can dead end this room if need be. Don't know what this is, but that's fine. I'm not gonna go in there. That seems dangerous. Alright, I wanted to check something. Where is it? Let me check out my notes. Since we are here, so there were some elements that were not real. They were Y, well that's real. It was HO, which is here, and MT, which is here, and then LL. LL is not true then. Okay. Glad to confirm that. Right, so complete 4 would happen at, I presume... Oh wait, is that text? Cooler is unaffected. That does make sense, I guess. Well, we did discover that, though. That the cooler was unaffected. Much to my dismay. Sure, let's just go all in on the red rooms, I guess. I could also put whatever this is. Oh, a puzzle. 13. So 20 minus 16 is 4. 4 squared is 16. Okay. Right, so 2 squared is 4. Multiplied by 1. Wait, this is... Wait, yeah, this is multiplied. Multiplied by 1, that's still just 4. Plus 2 is 6 squared. 6 squared is 36. Minus 30 is 6. Oh, this one seems complicated. So 20 minus 20. Well, that's 0. Minus 3 is negative 3. Divided by 3. Wait, what happens when you divide a negative number by 3? Does it then just become 1? Or negative 1, rather? Anyway, we square that, so that does become 1. And then we multiply by 4. Well, I got it right. That's what matters. How do you even divide negative things? Like, how do you split negative things with something? I guess we kind of have to go this way now. I guess we get our allowance. Let's do the Great Hall. Ah, experiment. Shouldn't one of these doors be open? See, the issue right now, however, is that I don't know how the configuration of this is. And we only have 4 keys. Oh, frick, I'm out of gems. Dark room. Okay, so it does still trip, even if you flip it off and on again. What's the best way to get back? This room scares me. I don't know why. There's something about this room that's spooky. Let me through. And it's this way, right? Yeah. Right, the breaker. I was like, wait, where am I even going? I was going to the breaker. Oh, I don't have a sledgehammer. Alright, let's start going this way. Well, I mean, nice view. Since there's still boxes in here, I wonder if we can like upgrade it again. Oh, this goes the completely wrong way. Lovely. I guess we can do the funeral parlor. Like, we can still pull out from the drawing room, so that's fine. We get quite a few gems actually doing this, so... Let's see if we get another red room. We don't. We might want... I know it's better to build this off a bedroom, but... I don't care. Alright, let's do this puzzle. And more importantly, let's not mess it up. You are in the parlor. Well, that's very true. This box is empty. That tells me nothing. The blue box is true. Well, this is true, this is true, this is false. So this box is not empty. Right? We are in the parlor. So the blue box is definitely true. So this box is false, and therefore the box is not empty. Ah! Nice. It looks very comfy, doesn't it? At least we get a free reroll here. I don't want to wait room. I guess we have to do the hallway. Fast room might actually be perfectly fine here because that, I mean, it kind of blocks off this part, but we can just, you know, go around into the rotunda and then through the hallway, so it's fine. And it would give us some steps and quite a few keys as well, because we do have the tomb. Hello, ghost. I can't tell if it was a good or a bad idea to get a ghost inside of the guest bedroom, but we did it. See, back into the rotunda. Turn that. I basically just need to enter this hallway so I can unlock this door, and then we can always leave the rotunda in the other direction, I guess. See what we get here first, though. Oh, solarium might actually be good to give us some rare rooms. A key. Can't really see a whole lot in this room. It's kind of blocked off. Wait, even when I enter from the other side, it's locked? Bobbins. Oh well. Guess I didn't necessarily need to open this door, but... I don't think that was supposed to happen. There's something behind this door, I think. It usually does have a key whenever you do that, I've noticed. Right. We've opened one corner. I think usually it's the other corner then? Has the lever? No, this one was technically speaking the correct way if we hadn't already opened that room. Oh well. I'm gonna reroll this. Corridor. Hang on, what does this note say again? Green memos found in Hartley's room are always false. Oh. Oh, the lever. I didn't notice that apparently. They don't look alike at all. I still have no idea who this is. I guess it could be Babash, which would make sense if it's the office, but I don't know. Like, she seems to kind of be the staff leader, whatever you want to call it, manager, probably a better term. Redraw. Oh, music room. Does give us some keys. And a keycard. I don't care about the keycard, to be honest. We already have it unlocked, so... We could bedroom this. Don't really see why not, actually. Does give us some steps back, so that's good. I really, really hope we can get a dining room or kitchen. What do they do again? We can't afford to lose steps. Yes, we can take this one, so we can re-roll the corners. We already have plenty of re-rolls, but if I can use free re-rolls, that's good. Oh yeah, the cloister. Redraw. Redraw, I think. Redraw. I hate the archive so much. Dining room. We need a dining room, so otherwise it's gonna be over very soon anyway. We don't really have items worthwhile for the workshop. I guess we could potentially get a sledgehammer if we do this, but it's more likely that we get the battery. Oh well, let's see. Yep, battery. But I think if we do shovel and this, we get a jackhammer. Which sounds quite exciting, quite thrilling. More effective than the shovel, digs deeper and finds better items. We can also get this burning glass. I don't know what it does. We haven't built it, so I'm very curious. Can light candles and ignite fuses. Oh, I see. So it's essentially a another way to get the torch. Okay. Well, that's nice. Do have a small issue though. You're running out of keys. I'm gonna eat the fish and hope we don't get an aquarium right afterwards. Because then I'd be very sad. Hey, we can ignite candles. We just stared all the candles in this room. There appears to be quite a lot of, like, vases and stuff we can potentially break as well. In other words, what I'm saying is that I really want the sledgehammer. Some gems. Some keys. The jackhammer is actually very, very good. More gems. We are kinda out of rerolls though, which might be an issue. But if we can just get to this corner, we can reroll from that corner, so that's fine. Don't have enough keys. Ooh, apple. A reroll die. More rerolls. Nice. And we also get some allowance from doing this. The library. I need the library. And let's hopefully get a straight room. What could this be that costs 2 gems? I don't know. Let's just do it. Oh, perfect, perfect. There's also a treasure chest somewhere. Literally in the room we just made. Okay. Okay, we're the first person to borrow this book though. Alright, I am considering what else we can do. The answer to that is not a whole lot actually. I mean, we could open this, I guess. Lord William Epsom, Baron Thomas Sinclair, Major Nicholas Key. Wait, hang on. Major Key. There was something about this. Hang on, notes. Must consult my notes. In a new clue, we found a note saying suspect is a key, or a dot key. And the same note, or like in the same spot, we had a note saying the suspect is a major. But this is not a key, this is Nicholas, that's not a. Edwin Sinclair, Count Isaac Gates. Oh. So excited for no reason. Let me just add this to my notes anyway. He looks very serious. Arazeena. Do we know anything about this based on Arazeena? we do not. Anyway, let's take up the treasure. Time to start digging. Oh, there's gems in it this time. My castle boy freezer. Oh, that freezer would be so lovely right now. But we can't build any more rooms anywhere, so no freezer for me, sadly. But we do have a burning glass, so we could go around the place and see if we can start fire somewhere. Speaking of fire. Right, let's see. Count Isaac Gates, Baron Edwin Sinclair, Arazeena, and Major Nicholas Key. That is suspicious. Key 4. I don't know. Baron Thomas Sinclair and Lord William Epsom. So I wonder if we're supposed to like find 4 major keys or something like that. Just to see what that would accomplish though. So that looked suspicious because it had something on its back, unlike anything else, but it's not. Right, let's read this book. I was about to say, where did my magnifying glass go? It's gone. I should not have built that thing until I read this book. Whoopsies. I wonder if I can get a new one in the commissary, since we don't have it anymore. We have plenty of steps, so... see, 1, 2... I guess if we go out through the foundation, we can shortcut it a bit. Save some steps. That wouldn't be too stupid, I think. But we can even go in through the garage, actually, that's gonna be better. Okay, let me do that before we start reading. Just, it wouldn't cost us a whole lot of steps to do it, and having a magnifying glass seems very important. I kind of forgot about that. When I was combining it, I was just curious about what a burning glass would do. So have we been down here trying to actually like ignite fires? I don't think we have. Can't light that on fire. Not that. Let's just start by getting outside and then we go in through the garage. Could also head down the tomb. Let's head down the tomb first, actually. I forgot about this. Right, I don't suppose the burning glass has new things to burn. We have already read that. Alright, there was this room. Right, so we have to get the key again from here. If we wanted to take a look at the diary again. Right, I also took some time like trying to decipher this when I was just like looking through my notes. And the closest thing I can get to is like a little translation would be towards you first something. Iris is a word I don't fully know. And then I think ul el, and then it comes with a D on it. I wonder if that just, like last time we speculated, like last time we looked at this note, we speculated whether that meant something would be reversed, but I don't think that's the case. I think if anything, it's more likely it will kind of change the possession of the word. So instead of me, it becomes my. And if that's the case, this would become something along the lines of you are my day, you are my night, you are my whatever Mora means. I don't know. World could be a very good bet, I guess. Like saying you're my day, you're my night, you're my world. Something like that could make sense. I don't know. Or el gift eldu oris? Oh, of is, not oris, of is. I think that means to you I gift my house in the south. Something along those lines. This one I'm not certain about because the alliteration or the not the translation is transliteration an actual word? I think it is, right? Anyway, a literal translation of this would be a new day or a new dawn in the future without me, or your future without me. And then this would be the same, like a new future or future day, dawn, tomorrow, whatever, of my future without you. But if this is a note from Lady Epson and she said, like, why would she have a future without whoever this note is to? Like, not to be insensitive, but I mean, if she's dead, she doesn't really have much of a future. And then this one would be Ash el vid ulhid el lo, which I think probably means first I bid you heed my word, or something along those lines. And this one I couldn't quite figure out what exactly it meant. Uladiris? I still do not know what iris means. Wait, do you know what odd means? I think we do. Oh, is this an E? That's probably E. Ul Eldiris? Wait, no, it doesn't make sense if that's... Okay, I do not know what OD means. Hang on, let me just look for my notes, see if we have anything. Not really. I have no idea what this means. But House Sinclair without you, and House Epsom without you. But I'm not sure whether it means House Sinclair without you, or if it means you are not House Sinclair and you are not House Epsom. I don't know if that's the case. And then forget is a loan word, so let's just forget. Forget you or something, I do not know what ein means. In the north, I think. Hi Becca, how are you doing? And then something about your name. No idea what Jari means. Ultarai Ovis Fenvo. I think that means something along the lines of your future. Yeah, Aramean's future, so your future away from Fen. rather your future in the south away from Fen. Old Enduro Vol. I don't know. There's a lot of words we haven't really discovered here, I think. Overaja. Ovis. Nevarai. Something about a new future in the south, I think. In any case, the translation I have come up with, like, I have a feeling that Iris might mean daughter, and Jorah, like, it would make sense to kind of like say, like, make a passing letter saying farewell, my daughter, your mother. That sounds like something that could be said in like a passing note. So that's making me think that Iris means daughter and Jorah means mother. If Jorah is mother, maybe Joro is father, is what I kind of think. So the translation I have kind of like potentially gotten out of this is, greetings, daughter. You are my day, you are my night, you are my world. Not certain about this one though, because I don't know what world means, but it could very well mean world, I think. I give you my house in the south. Tomorrow, your future without me. Tomorrow, my future without you. First, I bid you heed my word. You are not House Sinclair, you are not House Epsom. Forget your something in the north. And if you look at like this Giari, I wonder if this could kind of be a negative connotation of future. So, in other words, past, because what was the name for the future? That's Are. It kind of like there's just jumbled up with a J in front of it, so maybe that means past. I'm not certain. Yeah, but in that case, it would be your past name, your future in the south. Wait, you're not House Sinclair, you are not House Epsom. Forget your something in the north, which I think would presumably mean Fen. Your past name, your future towards the south, in, well, away from Fen, so probably in Iraja. Take your new name there, I think, or your past name? I don't know. I don't know, this is confusing. And then something away from your father to Iraja, to the south for a new future. That's what I've kind of translated this to. And what do I do with this information? I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea what to do with that information. The only thing I can think of is that Lady Epsom wished that her daughter went to the south or something? Maybe? I don't know. Ooh, that's a lot of coins. If only I had a freezer. I actually don't know why I'm going down here. Usually there's nothing down here anyway, so I don't know why I'm doing this, but who knows, maybe there's something new. What is that? It looks like something that could hold a candle, but there's no candle in it, so no fire, sadly. No fire makes me sad. Alright, and there's not anything over here, I think. Yeah. We already know everything about this place, I think. Right, let's get out of this cave then. I still wish we could find, like, this part of the map. There's something about something Jill Point streams, which doesn't make any sense to me. What happens if we ignite all of these again? Nothing. Cool. Hey, science. Nothing on that node. Oh wait, wasn't there something about this not working? Yeah, there's no way to call the lift down here. Which seems very bad that you can't call the lift from downstairs. That seems kind of dangerous. Well, seems like we wasted some steps then because I forgot about that, but that's okay. Not the right room. This way. I also don't really know what the purpose of being able to go in through that entrance is. I mean, I guess so you can move this out of the way, I guess? Oh, actually, since we are down here, let's actually just do that. Oh, actually, we should be looking for dynamite. I don't think there's any lying around. I haven't seen any at the very least. But it does make a very specific note about you can light fuses, so that must mean there are dynamites around that we can ignite. I know we found one in a what was it? It was in the trading post. But that didn't really give us a whole lot, I think. Tip tap, tip tap. Hit that. I'm also not too concerned with these puzzles until I kind of get all the doors open. Alright, so what was I doing? I was trying to head back outside. And then in through the garage. That's what I was trying to accomplish. So we can see if we can get a new magnifying glass. I don't suppose so since it says sold out, but we'll see. I mean, it doesn't harm to check, I guess. Oh, there's a digging spot here. Ah, yes, more rerolls. We can't build anything though, but oh wait, so we do just get dice here every time. Well, that's good to know. Alright, to the garage, which is this way. I wonder if this ladder does anything, if it's just there just for the sake of like, you know. Also, it kind of looks like there might be a second floor. Oh, that's probably the solarium. I was like, what's that tower? Might be the solarium. Yeah, like, look, there's windows up here. Hmm. Oh, we can't get the magnifying glass. Well, let's just hope there's nothing we had to, like, look at in that book then. Because that will make me very, very sad. What's the best way to go about it? I guess we just go back through the foundation. It's a little bit back and forth here because I'm doing some science, I guess. That looks suspicious. Right, it's down here. There's one small thing I would like to check when we go down here. Because this arrangement of the stone... which way would be north? Well, that didn't seem to do anything. Oh well. But we just seen this arrangement before somewhere, so that's why I'm very curious about that, but it doesn't seem like we can interact with it, not even with the jackhammer, so... Oh well. "100 bells to Sandy Heights, 5 p.m. I think that's where... Wasn't that where one of the notes we found the archive basically said that Mary was supposed to be there, but she didn't show up, and that's why they kind of realized she was missing? I think we found a note saying that. Alright. Let's go read that book, finally. Unfortunately without a magnifying glass, so hopefully we don't need that. That was me being dumb and building before I read it, but we all make mistakes. The legend of Black Ridge is one that is well known to the people of the Grand Realm. For versions of this tale have been passed down from generation to generation. With each new telling, the story has changed, becoming over the years more colorful, more verbose, and as one might expect, increasingly horrifying. However, with so many renditions and unique personal touches, the task of confining and binding this tale to text seemed an ambitious and impossible challenge. Over the course of my research, I have heard dozens of variations of the legend, and while the details would often change, I was surprised how much of the story's heart remained the same. Yet the more I listened, the clearer it became that there could never be a definitive version of this tale capable of capturing all the wonder and myth of Black Ridge. In the end, I chose to write down what felt most authentic, the story my grandmother told me as a boy long ago. Part 1. The Berry Picker from Oris. Many years ago, before peace had become a familiar word, there lived a group of rogues so wayward that the locals deemed it appropriate to call their numbers the Unholy Hound. Okay. They were feral outlaws composed of society's worst in a time when society was at its worst, and for each crime the fearful travelers credited to the group. And for each crime that fearful travelers credited to the group, a dozen more lay unclaimed, each worse than the last. For the gentry, however, who often covered their values For the gentry who often valued their coffers more than their companions, no crime could be measured more wicked than the group's primary enterprise, high road robbery. One such member of this so-called band of rogues was a boy of 13 years. Jesper? Let me just write this down. Who had not been lucky in life, having lost 2 brothers to war and parents to famine. In the years of hunger that followed, Jesper lived in a gutter behind the churchyard, relying on the nourishment of scurrying bugs and weeds harvested from the cracks of the alleyway to sustain his pitiful existence. It is not surprising that a child aiming to escape such hardship would take any easy road out. An easy and well-traveled road paved the temptations leading out of the city and into the gentry lands, where loose purse strings entwined with the strands of salvation and glisten equally with the hope of opportunity. It was this road that eventually led Jesper to the end of his youth, a hidden cave at the bottom of the Black Bridge Canyon. It was here that he met his surrogate family and savior, the notorious gang of godless outlaws known as the Unholy Hounds. Despite the hardened circumstances that had led him to this vocation of banditry, Jesper was surprisingly tender-hearted and was often teased by the group for being too kind for such an ignoble life. For this reason, Jesper was assigned the innocent role of berry picker. It was not just innocence that set berry picking apart from the gang's more wicked undertaking, for it was the only duty performed without the safety of night's concealment. Jesper, no stranger to solitude, did not protest that he alone worked while the others slept soundly, tucked away in the cave at the bottom of Black Bridge Canyon. On one such occasion, Jesper decided to get an early start. He left the cave, berry basket in hand, and set out into the woods before the morning sun had even brushed against the tallest treetops. It was cold in the mornings, but the headway dawn afforded meant Jesper could reach the furthermost berry patches without worrying of being chastised for tarrying upon his return. It took over 3 hours on foot to reach his destination, and along the way Jesper had passed by many a familiar bush, all priorly pillaged and so bereft of berries that one would have to dedicate several moments in earnest examination before finding a single one. Jesper was patient, but even patience has its limits. He was confident that even accounting for the time lost to this long stretch of travel, his efforts would be well worth the pains. Surveying the patches in this new grove surprised even Jesper. The red dots suspended among the leaves seemed as numerous as stars in the skies. Upon seeing such a bounteous sight, he clutched his berry basket tightly and nearly toppled over out of joy. Once he had regained his senses, Jesper quickly made a decision. He would not reveal the location of this newfound treasure. Instead, he would earn the respect of his confederate, who upon seeing his yield might attribute the success to hard work. Smiling at his frown, Jesper set off to fill his basket and was making steady strides in this task when the sound of thundering hooves interrupted him. A carriage is approaching. The thought of it made Jesper freeze. He had been so enchanted by this discovery that he had neglected to observe his surroundings. How could a roadway be so close? He ducked down and crept toward the impending sound, hiding behind one of the large bushes nearby. Now, it would have been lovely if we had a magnifying glass so I could look at this picture more closely, but well, we don't have that, so rip. One moment, my cat's being a little bit upset. You good? Hey, be nice, be nice. She got upset because I accidentally woke up. There we go. It was only a moment before the stout source revealed itself. Within 50 paces of where Jesper hid, an elegant carriage with gold trim came soaring around the corner of trees, led by two beautiful white horses and conveyed by a stern-looking driver seated atop the vehicle, flaunting the most sophisticated regalia Jesper had ever seen. It was not just any carriage, it was a royal carriage. Even without ever having witnessed such a sight before, Jesper was certain. The sight had so transfixed Jesper that he stood awestruck, unable to see away as the carriage approached. The little concealment the bush provided was soon proven unequal to the driver's lofty perch, and upon spotting the boy, he pulled the reins with such effect that the noble seat slid into a sudden hold with precise control. "You, boy! Get out of behind that bush!" he shouted with a rigidity that betrayed an modest amount of fear. "You startled me half to death. Come round the bend of my own drive and mean seeing such an unfamiliar face in a place where there ought not be any face." Jesper quickly contemplated running. The man was much older, and his dress was suitable for courtly behavior, not dashing through the brambles and mud. I was picking berries." Jesper raised the half-filled basket up to allow the driver to see the proof of his words. The demeanor of the man suddenly changed. It was a change that Jesper was familiar with. He had many times seen the same stern expression on the most fiendish bandits melt away when presented with a berry basket. Any suspicion that the driver might have had instantly evaporated, for even the notion of a member of the unholy hounds picking berries seemed facetious. The softened expression even made allowance for a smile. "Berries, eh? Say, you couldn't have picked a better spot for them, could you? I used to pick berries here when I was a boy." Jesper took his cue to finally step forward out from behind the bush, proudly brandishing his basket. "I know, and what luck I found them. I've only just begun picking, and look how many I have. It would have taken me a full time back home to procure this number." The driver bent down for a closer look. "And where's your home, boy? It must be quite far." Jesper replied with a scripted response. "It's a little south of Tanner Fork, just past the Bird Woods." "My God, that is far. You haven't come all this way only this morning." And it was true. Tanner Fork was in the exact opposite direction that Jesper had traveled, and while that response would seem perfectly reasonable in a location closer to Blackbridge Canyon, you could see why it might seem less believable here. "So I've traveled much farther for much less profit." Sorry. "So I've traveled much farther for much less profit. I dare say there's no distance yet made by man that could not be worth undertaking for a price such as these. Surely you have tasted them for yourself?" Jesper felt happier with this response, as it seemed to amplify the man's smile. "In my youth, often, but perhaps I took it for granted because I never had to travel very far, and even then my father would always drive us here in our carriage, so I'm ashamed I've never had to walk such a stretch to earn an equal reward." It was Jesper's time to smile. "Well, then let my efforts reward us both today." He raised the basket even higher. "A taste and memory of your youth, sir." The driver chuckled and removed one glove, bending over the seat to reach down to the basket. At the moment his fingers touched the first berry, the dagger in turn met his throat, cutting through a superficial layer of skin and drawing blood. Jesper caught the man's startled eyes. "And for that taste, I would have your purse, sir, in memory of my youth." The driver's arm had gone stiff, his chin raised and trembling, more frightened than he had ever been before. Whether unable or incapable of speaking, he did not respond to the boy. Perhaps he did not think his jaw could afford to be engaged at this particular time. Jesper let the basket drop, bringing his other hand to probe the man's pocket. Do not mistake me, sir. I will not kill you if you give me no cause. Though, I will admit, the thought of taking your carriage and leaving you in the indignity of walking appeals me. Unable to find the purse in the man's coat, Jesper prepared to search the seat under him. Why have you no purse upon your person? The driver slowly raised his hand cautiously, pointing towards the carriage door behind him. Jesper lowered the knife's edge a small degree to allow the man to speak, which he did in turn softly. There's a lockbox in the carriage. Oh, well, come down then and grant me the courtesy of sparing your life and binding your hands. A concession, I assure you, of my tender heart, for it would be so much easier to slit your throat. The man started to comply, slowly lowering himself from the driver's seat of the carriage. Once down, Jesper guided him away from the carriage to a nearby tree, where he instructed him to get on his knees and put his hand behind his back. Excusing his inexperience, the man indulged Jesper while he figured out how to adequately bind him. The smile and kindness Jesper had seen on the man's face, now nothing more than a distant memory. In their place, cold, dark eyes displaying no emotion. I wonder, should I grant you the same clemency you're showing me? Jesper stopped, surprised by the question, but ignored it, secured the final bindings, and then hastily returned to the carriage. With one hand on the door's handle, he turned back to the man. If there's no lockbox, there will be no clemency. Inside the carriage was surprisingly dusty and unswept, a stark contrast to the elegant and polished golden facade of the exterior. It had apparently been many years since the passenger had enjoyed the passage in this vehicle. This all but confirmed what Jesper had suspected. The driver's carriage was not a liveried servant and the employer of some great master. Any curiosity that this observation might have further reduced was quickly abandoned upon seeing what rested under the carriage's back seat. A large wooden lockbox. Despite its hefty appearance, the box was surprisingly easy to handle. Within a few minutes, Jesper had dislodged it from its hold and carried out into the sunlight. Inspecting the box carefully, two observations were made. Titanic symbols were carved on all four sides of the box, hinting that the box was very old and likely not created in Orindia. So created by Orindian hands. It reminded him of artifacts from the old world and was presumably crafted in one of the ancient realms. Secondly, the box was secured. Oh, I think if only we had a magnifying glass, there might have been something interesting to look at here. Anyway. Secondly, the box was secured by a rusted yet robust padlock and would not open easily without a key. Jesper goes to see the driver quietly observing from his indentured position. Do you perhaps have a key you can provide me to open this box? Without emotion, the driver replied, There is no key to that box. Jesper stood up. Easy enough then. He had also a nearby rock of sizable dimension and lifted a stone up, carrying it back to the box. If there was ever a time when that lock had been resistant to brute force, it wasn't recent. With one hit, the stone had completely shattered the robust lock. He bent back down and opened the lid. Inside was an effigy, a crude figure chiseled from stone. Without too much deliberation, Jesper bent down and picked it up, somewhat surprised how heavy it seemed given how light the box had felt. Having expected to find something more akin to gold or gems, he looked questioningly to the man, hoping to find an explanation. The driver's smile had once again returned. You are cursed, boy, for deadly is the stone. You have opened that which should never have been opened, and you are cursed. Or is this going to be like a Draxus effigy or something? Jesper carried the effigy over to the man and showed it in front of his face. What is it? That's one. Wait, what? That's one. Feelings smart and racing now. Wait, what? You say what here? Right, okay. Jesper carried the effigy over to the man and showed it in front of his face. What is this? That's one. Feeling disappointment rising to anger now, Jesper tightened his grip on the effigy. One what, you mumbling agenta? What does agenta mean? Let me just write that down. That might be Arazeena, potentially. Agenta? Let me just look at my Arazeena notes to see if I can figure anything out here. I mean, first something. That's what Arch mean. I don't know what Entor means though. Oh. One what, you mumbling agenta? And in God's name, why have you no purse upon your person? The man did not seem intimidated. One pace. He paused for effect. 12 more, and you will be dead. He only had a second to flinch before the effigy struck him in the head, and put an end to his cryptic ramblings. If there was ever a time when the old man had been resistant to brute force, it wasn't recent. Oh, the old man is like a log. Jesper looked down at the sculpted stone figure, now splattered red. Was it cursed? Was he cursed? He had of course heard stories of curses and had never doubted their validity in the past, but now that he was standing face to face with the possibility of being cursed, his mind pleaded with him to be skeptical. And if he was cursed, what difference would that knowledge make? A dozen more paces would not be enough to find another living soul, to say nothing of the chances of procuring a remedy. If he did not move from where he now stood, he could live maybe another 3 or 4 days, maybe more given the abundance of nearby berries. A plant that, if we ignore its obvious faults, might provide additional opportunities for help to come along. But what good would that do? To be discovered here, besides a body, stolen goods in hand, bloated from berries, and raving about a curse that could very well not be real? No, it would most certainly be better to face one's fate now. Take a dozen paces and see if life goes on. But Jesper found his legs unable to make that first step. His mind was unable to convince his limbs to waste away 1/12 of his life in a single motion. Feeling his desperation sink in, he hopelessly looked about him for a solution. And if by some stroke the locked guards had heard his plea, a miracle materialized before him as he found himself suddenly at the end of a fairy tale. 2 white horses and a carriage of golden trim were beside him, the answer to his immediate prayers. He laughed at his fortune and calculated the short number of paces back to the road. 4. Perhaps only 3 if he jumped. He made a quick survey to see if there was anything he wished to grab before taking his plunge. Hang on. 1 pace. 2 body. 4 to the horse carriage. So I'm just making some stupid drawings here. So I don't know if it's even relevant or not, but might as well. He thought about removing the driver's fancy coat, as that appeared to be of some value, but the additional risk of undertaking such a task too great to chance. And so, after a profound breath, he took his 2nd, 3rd, and 4th step, though they were quite large. Okay, so 3 paces. Or 2 paces, I guess. No, 3 paces. Seated now behind the horses, he reached for the reins and suddenly realized that he was still gripping the effigy. If the curse was real, then it would most certainly be better left here. If, on the other hand, the story was fictitious, there might be some appraisal that could be made of the figure. It was, after all, found within a lockbox, whose typical function often secures objects of value. Having witnessed firsthand the horrors of destitution, Jesper found his mind equally reluctant to allow his hand to let go. If it is cursed, I die. If not today, then tomorrow. And if I die, what care have I? And with that statement said aloud, to the horses seemingly, Jesper took up the reins with confidence. Holy fuck, there's more. How many pages? Okay. It's not too bad. Below the Black Bridge. Miller awoke to some light nudging from a familiar foot. Only one person would have the cheek to awaken her in such an ill-mannered fashion. Shaking the sleep from her eyes, she glared up at him in the darkness, but did not say a word. He nudged her again, teasingly, then slid back into the dim. So there's a person called Miller as well. After taking a moment for her eyes to adjust to the darkness of the cave, Miller remembered she was on third watch today. Quietly collecting her things and wits, Miller turned as she left, waving to her young friend, who was more than likely already asleep. She crept through the cavern's main passage, careful not to wake the sleeping bandits around her. Like a hero in a book, she often mused. Quietly she grabbed a bow from the haphazardly formed pile of weapons, shaking the accompanying quiver in the darkness to assess how many arrows it held. She then walked towards the sun-drenched mouth of the cavern, ready to start her shift. Oh, sorry. Trying to snooze the ads. Above her, in one of the few trees found in the canyon, Miller could see that Ravia was already posted. She waved and Ravia waved back, calling out to her. Calling out to each other was strictly forbidden. Anything louder than a gesture in the canyon was forbidden. When Miller reached the tree, Ravia lowered a braided rope and pointed to the ground behind her. Miller turned following the finger and saw a pile of water residing beside a nearby log. She turned back to Ravia, nodded, and secured the pile to the rope. The pile went up first, and in turn Miller followed. There's also Ravia. Ravia reached across to grab the water. Miller leaned back to give her space. There was not much room for maneuvering in this tree post, a necessary concession for the concealment the outpost demanded. Ravia tilted the pail up to her mouth dramatically, illustrating how thirsty she had been. Miller laughed silently as water poured out, splashing onto Ravia's face. It was a bit too daring and noisy of a joke, and had the others been around, they would have certainly been scolded for the unwarranted sound. But Miller appreciated the efforts Ravia took to verbalize the silence of the morning. They had been on third watch together for over a month, and during the speechless time, their friendship had grown into something special. Affection was unsurprisingly scarce among the unholy hounds. She had felt camaraderie before, of course, but intimacy, never. From the elevated vantage, the girls could see both the concealed entrances, both the concealed entrance of the cavern, as well as the clear view of the bridge that spanned across the canyon. Black Bridge was the link between the Gentry lands and the northern mountains, the overpass that connected Oris and Reddington. Okay, this might be important to note. Okay. To the city-faring travelers of the realm, the bridge was an unavoidable crossing. In the day, the task was to ensure that travelers passed by without stopping. At night, the task was to ensure that they do. Like most of the band, Miller preferred the night. The biting glare of the sun might be tolerable to farmhands and bricklayers, but to a cabin house bandit, it was a sort of a constant annoyance. In the day, there was no shroud to conceal her expression, nor to hide her thoughts. She felt exposed. Bravia touched her elbow and pointed up. Miller, striving to suppress a budding smile, softly shook her head in response. There were many signs that the unholy hounds used in layer of words, but the two of them had developed an extended vocabulary. Gestures quietly forged in the shared solitude of the month among. Gestures quietly forged in the shared solitude of their month among the branches. She watched as Rabia shifted, placing her palms flat on the floorboard beneath them. Miller knew what she was trying to say, but shook her head a second time. It was often more fun to pretend not to understand. Rabia rolled her eyes and turned away, looking back to the canyon. Squinting through the leaves, the two girls held still, watching and listening. It was not long until Miller too heard the sound of approach. Robbie held up two bent fingers, and a few moments later, two men emerged from the bridge southern end. They were dressed in a familiar uniform, long grey coats with black facings, white waistcoats, and black tricone hats. They belonged to the local patrol, the Blackguard. Although not an everyday occurrence, the presence of Blackbridge wasn't an unusual sight. It typically indicated an important traveler's impending passage across the bridge. Information that the girls would probably relay to the leader as soon as the coast was clear. But this report, while exciting, was rarely acted upon. In Miller's 5 years in the Unholy Hounds, she had never once seen a carriage taken in open daylight when the Blackguard was nearby. The men had nearly reached the bridge north end, and when Miller heard the horses, faintly at first, but growing louder with each passing moment, Ravia's eyes met Miller's, the same concern mirrored in each other's expression. This did not sound like a typical carriage. Cautiously approaching the bridge to cross, instead of the familiar crunch of the high road gravel, they heard the harsh clattering of hoofbeats against stone. Both girls quickly redirected their attention, downwards, looking through the foliage. The sounds were not coming from the high road, but from the canyon itself. The horses were coming from below the bridge. In an instant, Miller had knocked an arrow and drawn her bow. Go! Rabia was gone before the whisper had even left Miller's mouth. The young scout was already sliding down the bank below, racing towards the cave. There was no road that ran below the canyon. There was no reason for numerous horses to be approaching the cave. There was only one reasonable conclusion, and both girls had reached it instantly. The base had been compromised. It was a Blackguard attack. The moment the horses came into view, Miller let loose the first arrow. She was surprised to see a carriage. She had expected cavalry. Before she even finished processing that thought, her second arrow was in the air. Without a trail, it would be unthinkable for a carriage to traverse such rough terrain. Yet she watched as the wheels jolted over the rocky riverbed. A third arrow was now in flight, and there would be no need for a fourth. The driver slumped over just moments before the vehicle dipped into a small ditch, slamming into an embankment. The force of this sudden halt immediately shattered the front two wheels and catapulted the driver from his seat. Utterly confused now, Miller quickly glanced over his shoulder to see if any horses were also approaching from the rear. Down in the canyon, the entire horde of the Unholy Hounds came spilling forth from the earth as if hell itself had suddenly sprung open. The group seemed even more bewildered than Miller, half asleep and tripping over one another in a desperate attempt to engage an unseen enemy in combat. Miller could see Robbie among the number, the only one looking up at her. Her expression was chilling. There would be no need for silent gestures to convey what they both now realized. They had made a mistake. The gang's chieftain, Jeffrey Heartslasher, led the others, cautiously approaching the crowd's carriage like a suspicious fox would near a baited trap. There were no words exchanged, and the group crept forward in customary silence. A dozen or so paces in front of the wreckage lay a far-flung driver, an arrow protruding from his broken body, and beside him a blood-stained effigy carved from stone. Oh, I presume that's Jesper then. Miller was inconsolable. Jesper had always been a favorite. He had always shadowed her in the night, clinging to the hems of her every mood. The way a child tails behind an older sibling. Tender-hearted, she had always called him, though deep down she had known that wasn't quite true. His appearance of gentleness concealed a raw, resilient durability that emerged in the most perilous of situations. He had been a flower among the nettles of this cave, but he still had thorns, honed by a grim past and 100 hands of misfortune. They buried him in the darkness, in the back of one of the large cavern rooms. He was interred with a berry basket and a silk handkerchief that he had treasured. Oh, but look, there's like this symbol of Horus, or Orindia. Orindia Ares? Orinda Ares. Keep getting that name messed up. How many swords are there? I don't even know if that's relevant. Oh. The mysterious effigy they had found beside him served as a distinguished gravestone, a marker that stood out as somewhat special among the rows of similar swords making neighboring plots. No one spoke, not even in whisper. There was nothing to say. Miller awoke the next day to a thunderous shaking and rattling of the earth, a far cry from the playful nudging of the previous day. She strained to adjust her eyes, but the choking sting of stirred-up dust caused her to flinch. Panic was also in the air. The sounds of scurried footsteps and clattering feet filled the space around her, but even in alarm, the silence was louder. What was it that sounded so strange? Miller closed her eyes tight and used her feet to guide her along the passage. The whispers around her were getting louder, and intense voices could be heard ahead. Louder speech than she had ever heard spoken in the canyon. A growing dread grew. Somehow that's hard to say. Dread grew. Anyway, a growing dread grew as Miller approached the mouth of the cave. Her eyes now open wide despite the dust. Shouldn't it be day? Miller felt a hand in the darkness pulling at her. It was Vavia. The two embraced, and Miller did not need to see her to understand. Vavia placed two bent fingers against Miller's neck, and with that touch against her face, Miller felt the same sinking feeling from the previous day. Two bent fingers confirmed what Miller had suspected. The girls had forgotten to relay one critical piece of information to the others. Oh, they forgot about the guards. An hour or so later, the screams began. Blood-curdling cries of hopeless desperation. Captain Fodrick Lee. That's an interesting name. Fodrick Lee of the Blackguard looked down from the ridge of the canyon to the collapsed entrance of the cave. Ah, he grinned. Now they speak. So I'm trying to think, like, we read somewhere that this was a very tragic, tragic because, like, all the people died, but they were bandits, so... I mean, I guess it's because we like named the Black Ridge Grotto after this, and well, it kind of seemed to lead to calamity, so maybe that's why. I don't know. I didn't really see anything that. I mean, this definitely looks like a Drax's statue, though. Yeah, definitely the Drax's statue. But I don't really know, like, if there's any point of, like, looking at the images or anything. Like, with the magnifying glass, that is. One thing that is of note, though, is Captain Frederick Lee of the Blackguard. Because in a new clue, there was a list of names. And one of those names were, I think it was Bo Lee, who appears to, who was a miner actually, which is also what the suspect might be. And it's, if I recall correctly, it's the only name on that entire list that does not have enough letters in the surname to follow the normal, what's it called, like the normal length. Let me just see if I can follow that hunch. Because if so, that would be huge. I also feel like that's kind of the only name we've found in this entire game that doesn't have, like, more than 4 letters in it. Which makes me very suspicious. We do still need to get a new clue, because when I was looking through my vault, I did notice something that I completely missed in it. So we do still need to get it, but let me just follow this hunch. There's quite a few steps to get here, though. Okay. So first and foremost, there was one thing we found. We found this inside the cooler, and that's been deactivated as I expected. But what if we do... Ooh. Now that's exciting. But yeah, there was like a note. Let me show you. From... Actually, no, it doesn't matter. There was a note inside the... What was it called? Like, as I was looking through my box, I just noticed this note inside of the new clue. And this just kind of like struck me that, like, why is this name shorter than anything else? And it also followed a clue along the same time saying... Let me just find my notes. Like, to say the suspect is a major key and the suspect is a minor. But if you take it major, M-A-J-O-R, in Arazeena, that means a small name. I still do not know what exactly we know about the suspect. Maybe that's just to say it's a suspect list, but yeah. And Bo Lee is, according to that list, only 16 years old, so the suspect is a minor, and the suspect is also a short name. And now we got, what was the name? Captain Frederick Lee. So yeah. Now what do we do with this information? I have no idea. Use the database. Okay, it doesn't show up here. Admin logs. I don't think there would be any new admin logs though. Oh, there is. Hang on, let me just look through this more carefully. The last cables have finally been laid, blah blah blah. I think this is a standard message. Yeah. All remaining computer terminals in the estate are now connected. Yeah. And they also mention Blackbridge in this, so there is kind of like that connection to the book as well. That's how everything here connects. This is a Kronk. It's all going together now moment. Regular maintenance. 3 new admin keys have been added to the network's user database. Lead B. Hang on, let me just write these down in my notes. Where do I have this note? Lead B, Grove C, and Hound U. Unholy Hounds, I presume? Admin log view access restricted to the following admin keys. Finally got the admin logs. Prep C. Lee, we are planning something later this year. I need to make sure communication on here is not being archived. Are there additional steps we can take to ensure privacy? Lee B. Already taken care of. We are now bypassing message archiving. Randolph shouldn't notice anything out of the ordinary. So they're kind of doing this behind Randolph's knowledge as well. Wonder who they are. Like we found a note at some point saying that was it Kirk Darren was a pseudonym. I wonder if that could be one of them. Maybe. I don't know. Good. No one else in the estates knows we're here. Or maybe it's oh, I see. Yeah, no one else in the estates knows we're here other than Mary, of course, who saw Lee on Tuesday, but how new has a plan to take care of her. Oh, that doesn't sound good. If it must be done, it must be done. Just see to it that the body is not discovered. The last thing we need is for the Red Guard to be snooping around here. She won't be found, rest assured. Let's disperse for now. I'll meet you all at the safe house in Wellington in 4 days. Then once the inquiry is over, we will proceed with our plans for the museum. Right, so I presume this would have to be Manning and White in that case. Don't know which is which here, but I guess it doesn't necessarily matter. But I thought they were like with her. Resuming operations. Welcome back, Lee. I've been camping out camping out the old schoolhouse for the past month, waiting for your return. It's spacious, quiet, and should prove to be an effective base of operations outside the purview of the staff and the Baron. We should have an opening on the first day of September. Do you remember that day? Wait, no, that's the 21st. Fuck. Anyway, can we be ready by then? I don't see why not. Negotiations for transportation are in the final stages. If all goes well, we'll have an air passage to Nuan secured for that date. Hang on, coordinates. Just writing some notes here. Getting a passage to Nuance. That would make sense since Nuance is to the west. And we found out saying something about the winds carried this wall or something to the west. I think Moore's planning a scheduled maintenance soon, so we should likely wrap things up here. I'd say it's time to scrub these logs. They might fall under some scrutiny in the near future. Prof C, Hound U, and Lee B delisted and deleted from the database. And then we just have like the normal things. Huh. Interesting. Where did we see the archive things though? Network settings? The timer setting controls how long a computer terminal stays connected to the network without disconnecting from the server. I don't know what this does. The default setting immediate requires a new connection each time the user attempts to log into the network. It doesn't really seem to be working, to be honest. Wait, but if this archive knowledge, where do we find that though? Okay, let's see if we do Prof C. Admin not found. Was it a U? No? Okay. But these admins are not found. I mean, they did say they were deleted, I guess, in the logs, right? But they were hanging out in the schoolhouse. Ah, okay, so the archive access just gives access to read this. Okay. Are there any deleted things though? I don't think so. Okay, so this is cool and all, but I don't know what to do with that information at all. It didn't really tell me anything, I think. So, there's that. Why is this one turned off? Okay, those panels in general are just off. Oh, I wonder if that's the server connected to the freezer. But I mean, it's not like we can interact with these screens anyway, so... Right, so we got some new information at the very least, some new logs and all that, but... if I'm being completely honest, I don't know what to do with that information. It didn't really tell me anything other than maybe check the schoolhouse. It's kind of the only thing I got out of that. Is there anywhere else we need to check before we end the day? Don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so at all. Well, rip all of our coins and all our gems. I guess we can do this. Now we have a single coin for a rainy day. Right, I'm just into the nursery. Oh wait, hang on, there's something I wanted to check actually. That looks like a keyhole. That's not what I wanted to check though. I felt like there was some thing, could maybe some candles? No? What else could we potentially light something? I don't know. Anyway, the day's over. Seems to say they have these lampposts inside. Seems very weird. Anyway, call it a day. Okay, but this entire thing about the whole Black Ridge Grotto or Cavern or whatever, Black Ridge Cavern, these new admin codes, they didn't really tell me anything other than it seemed like they wanted to get rid of Marigold. And when I say get rid of, I'm not saying it in the term of scurry her away, like get rid of, actually. So maybe there's something in the schoolhouse, I don't know. Didn't find anything in there though. Maybe we need a good old sledgehammer. Right, let's see what we get outside first. So what is that tower? I can't, even if we do find the school, I kind of refuse to build it right now, actually. Don't want the school. I mean, I guess we could do the trading post. Well, this is still open at the very least. You see Christoph again. We don't have any items too, but at least we can like trade some items when we do get some. If we get something we don't really want. Oh well. Right, so what do we want to get? We want to see if we can find the library again, because we need another book. I feel like everything just comes down to getting the library. We could try the tunnel. We haven't tried the tunnel. This is gonna be a bit cursed, but... Another tunnel? It's kind of keeping a lookout on the sides because there might potentially be... Oh fuck, it's locked. Oh, back we go. I feel like we found a shovel at some point in the corners here. Also, I don't feel like this is necessarily a very good way of building. Oh well. Let's get the observatory here. And we do the pantry here. Now, we don't really want to get too many dead ends on the sides now. This is a very interesting build we're doing. What are these? Diamond, apples are better, some steps, and green was more likely to have special flowers. That sounds nice. I don't really need any of the rooms from the pool. It does, however, have some trunks in it that could be nice. We do the den. I guess we do the guy's bedroom. Ooh, or we do the locksmith and get some keys. Maybe that's actually a better idea. Lockpick. Special key. Oh. Did I break it? I think I broke it. It's fine to skip the cutscene. Oh, a secret garden key. get a bunch of keys otherwise. Okay, we should be set now. Grab that. Drawing would probably be pretty good to give us some rerolls. I said I wanted library, but this is kind of going the wrong way. Maybe we do the furnace. Or then we build up from here. Which means we probably want to redraw this. So when it said that red rooms are more likely, it was definitely not lying. That's fine. Guess lockpick didn't work. Fucking hell. Let's just do the cloister of Draxus. And then we get a dead end here. I guess we do the wine cellar, just because gems. I also feel like there must be something hidden down here, like there has to. I just don't know where, or what, or why. The only thing I've noticed is that like this particular crest and date and helmet and all that is also in the master bedroom. But it doesn't seem to unlock anything, so I don't know. Aquarium, just so we can proceed. Oh, a flower. I also wonder if we should try to like drain the fish tanks or the aquarium again. See if there's more hidden things, because I think I just kind of like glanced a bit over it. Commissary? Still have a few coins, so a shovel would be nice. Ooh, a passageway here might actually be kind of good, because then we could connect it to whatever this room becomes. It is rather expensive though, but that's okay. Alright, we need something that's like a full way here. Preferably not the red room though. I guess this works. I would wish it kind of like went this way though. Do we reroll again? Oh, we can't afford that anyway. We have to redraw. Trophy room. Redraw. Redraw. Mechanera might have to be fine. I mean, it does have 4 doors, so sure, that's fine. Observatory. Oh god, we can't afford that. No, I don't want the archives. No. No. There's no doors in here. I guess they open automatically if we built the right type of room. I already looked at this one, but I'm just a little bit curious. I don't know. Oh, there's a battery here. So I don't recall if this room is good or not. Let's just Open this. We have a shovel. This might actually be pretty good then. Let's get this one. Hello, dog. You want pets, you get pets. Good doggo. Nothing of interest. A key. And another key. Cool. Oh, that's actually good. That's actually good. Now the question is, do we wait? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that would give us 5 gems. That's actually pretty good. But if we open this, we could potentially get 6. But we could also get a room I actually want and not have the gems to do it. Let's just do this first then. The gems are not in the white box. The gems are not in this box. Well, these two kind of have to have the same the same state, right? If this one is... Wait, they're opposite, sorry. If this is true and the gems are not in the white box, then the gems are not... No, wait, then they both become true. If this is false and they are in this box, then this is also false and the gems are in this box. But it also just says the gems are in this box. Okay. I guess that means that if these are true, so the gems are not in the white box, if that is true, and the gems are not in this box is also true, this one has to be false and the gems are not in this box, right? So they are not in the white box. And they are not in the white box still. And they are not in this box would be false, and so that would be blue. However, if we say the gems are in the white box, and the gems then have to be in the white box, then the gems are also in this box because this has to be true. They can't be. So they must be in blue. If this is wrong, I'm gonna get very sad. Good. So many keys. Oh, or gems. Right, I'm gonna save the garden key for later. Could get the conservatory. We need to get a mechanical room. I'm actually kind of fine with like the rarity of these rooms. I feel I get them at the right times, so... Library actually is not too bad here. Although that means we can't build out from the library. Let's just do the guy's bedroom then. Get some rerolls. And then this does become a dead end, which is fine, I guess. Hello, ghost. Oh, there's a gem here. Hello. Cat. Oh, you want pets? You get pets. Good dog. Right, I guess we can just open this room and do whatever we want with this, actually. You know what? Let's do this one. I don't know what it is, but... Oh! Well... Not the best, but could be worse, I guess. mean, we're now at GMs in the conservatory. Oh, we got the broken lever. That's good, though. Old tin can. Unfortunately, we did not get any mechanical rooms here. So we can't go back through the tunnels. But it's mostly like a straight passageway anyway, so... just check. There's one door for each mechanical room in your house. Well, we only have itself, so... I'm just gonna head back to the entrance hall then. Oh frick, I did pass the threshold. Might as well just stick here, get some coins. Get this. Alright, this got steps. Oh, I completely forgot about the gym in here. Yoink. Go this way. I feel like we haven't found the sledgehammer in a while. That does not spark joy. Banana. Yeah, I'm gonna redraw that. Oh, this might be pretty bad. Let's just build this. Good. It's pointing in the right direction. That's kind of fortunate, actually. Nice, and die. Are there statues of Baron Key in here? Doesn't look like it. There's a statue of, what's the name? Jin Ariera? Hallway? Right, a little bit dangerous low on steps, actually. I'm sure it's fine. Do the solarium. Doors in the east wing are more likely to be locked. Right. And I did kind of make a note on that earlier. It was like, why do I stick to the east wing? I should be sticking to the west wing. I kind of want the freezer, but we need to be able to continue. Just do the chapel. See, right now I kind of like have the situation where I don't really know what to use money for in this game anymore, to be completely honest. Just redraw this. I don't know what this is. Doesn't matter either way. Oh, the mailroom. Lovely. Courtyard's good. Oh, I completely forgot about that. Maybe we can find a keycard buried somewhere. Oh, the dogs! The dogs are helping. Yay! Well, it's actually kind of nice to know that works that way. Locker room might actually not be bad, although we don't really have the ways to backtrack. Oh no, is the locker room necessarily? Like, it spreads keys, which is nice, but I think we already discovered everything there is to discover inside the locker room anyway. Let's just do this one. I mean, might as well enter it because we get these steps back anyway. But no, the kennel is very, very good. I don't even know what this could be. Just redraw. Let's get a bit risky. Oh, that's locked. I mean, if it costs 2 gems, surely it's good, right? Ah, the thing is in the wrong direction. Well, what's this key? Oh, the prism key. I see. I don't think we can go anywhere else now, though. We don't have the steps available to backtrack, so might be an issue. Oh. I was about to say maybe we could get out through the archives, but we can't get over there. Okay, run might be over already. I also just feel like I'm really struggling with steps all of a sudden. I mean, in fairness, we did go all the way up to rank 9, then backtrack, but I don't know. I wonder if it's because I left in the nursery the last time. Well, at least we got the mail room, I guess. That is something. But yeah, I should not have built the this room. Imagine if there's a keycard in here. Heck. Hey, you never know. Sometimes you're allowed to do a bit of wishful thinking. Although I don't think it would really have mattered much since the run is basically over anyway. Because no steps. Oh well. Well, we made it back to the entrance hall at least. Wait, I think we'll smash some, maybe smash some things in the in the hallway. Oh well. Alright, chat, but I think this is gonna be it for me for today. We have been streaming for just about 3 hours, and this was a bonus stream, so I guess it's fine to not go all out. If you enjoyed this stream, please do make sure to follow, since that does tell you when I go live next, which I expect to be, when would that be? Probably Friday. First day of Friday, I don't know. But with some Resident Evil 4. But until then, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, night, evening, or whatever time zone you're in, and may the moon's blessing be upon you. Bye bye!